1 to double 11. Amazing prices, amazing styles. Win big in Mega Draw. to Double 11! Amazing prices! Amazing styles! Win big in Mega Draw! Lowest prices, incredible benefits! Welcome to Double 11! Amazing prices! Amazing styles! Win big in Mega Draw! Lowest prices, incredible benefits!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Queen's Legacy powered by Wardroom Games. We are here for the lower bracket first BO3 of the night. It's between Team Crux Requiem going against none other than YB Club. What a game they played. Okay, let me first introduce myself. It's me, your boy STZ, in the casting deck, and with me, none then my bro will be joining me to entertain you all. Is Zeph. By the way, Zeph, before I was introducing, I was telling you something. It is about the Nexon, that guy, the jungler
Uh-huh.
for YB Club, if I'm not wrong. This guy is so good with the Lancelot, man. I mean, the way he was flinching, the way he was doing the zing, zing, zing with a puncture, he was so good. I mean, she was so good. I'm just telling he because the Lancelot gameplay was so, so, so good by that girl.
Yes, yes.
She's so good, man. I mean, I really want to see her again playing that Lancelot. And that match was
Mm-hmm.
against, if I'm not wrong, against Dekona guys, and it went so good. That was the only game I casted at Queen's Legacy, and I was fascinated by the gameplay, of course. Let's
Yes, yes.
come back into the match. And Zeph, what do you think? The Mino pick, and we're gonna see that Angela Lancelot. Okay, the respect already
Oh
been
my
done.
God. Exactly, the respect, like she was speaking about Lancelot just shing around. So yeah, Lancelot will be taken down, and as well as that, Crook Requiem will be instantly locking on that Minotaur, which is kind of a gamble because Minotaur can be countered down as well as evaded. But yeah, speaking of bans from the YB club, they actually banned off CC, which is a really really interesting ban because she can go on both the lanes, EXP as well as the gold lane, and Esmeralda can do so, and she is a menace when it comes to the late game. And maybe there's a respect coming in for the Kagura, but here it is. We'll be seeing none other than the Nathan as well as the Julian from the side of Team YB Club. And yes, Julian, I'm not a big fan of Julian in this current meta because he gets outshadowed a lot by those other junglers. But yeah, let's see how YB Club plays it out because yes, Ash teased this is a female tournament and they decide what the meta is revolving around them. So yeah, but what do you say about this Julian though? Yeah, Ash.
Julian, okay, I'm a Julian main, but still, in the tournament scene, I don't feel like Julian will be a great hero because it's more like as a jungler, as assassin one, you need to dive into the backline. You need to clear out the backline first, the main damage dealer. And Julian is kind of lacking with that thing because even if you're using the second enhance, the sky,
Ooh.
still it doesn't like, I mean, get more potential into the backline diver to clear it out. So it's more like snowball and like pick up combo rate thing. So let's see if what they're coming up with this Julian. But what I'm seeing right now is the Lady Swan, that is the audit from the side of team Crux Requiem.
Oh
They're going for the
my.
1-1 goal against the Natan. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you
Uh-huh.
something. And the something is Natan in the early phase will have a little bit of backlash against the 1-1, but in the late game, Natan gonna have the power spike, and it will not be easy for the 1-1 to cope up with him again in the laning phase.
Mhm.
And they got the
Mm,
Kadita in their hand as well. So it's more like, I mean, the audit will have a lot of problem due to this Kadita's knockoff with the help of the rough
exactly.
whips and everything.
That's true. I mean, Kadita definitely just revolves, not revolves, but she will be dominating the mid lane, especially against that Odette who can't have enough damage in the early game. And knowing that there is going to be rough waves where Kadita will be unmarked as well as the burst coming in from that rough waves, it's going to be a big trouble for our Odette, especially knowing that none other than the Kadita will be having the second skill to just pop her up in the air and cancel the all. So yeah, Odette is getting highly countered by her own laning, what do we call it, laning opponent, and it is not going to be a good sign because it is a really, really, what do we call it, bad timing I'd be saying because I don't think so that Odette would be more working enough as long as she does not get those snowballing. And knowing there is a Minotaur who can just be ignored and moved past, except for his first kill, who can just stun you down and slow you down for a few seconds, but that's not going to be enough because the first kill from our Kadita would be enough to just catch up to that Odette if she does not have the flicker. And talking about flicker, it is going to be the Terisla as well as the Xbox and YSS being taken off from the pickle list, and it is looking good for the side of YB Club because they do not want the upcoming tankiness coming in from there, just getting melted down by that heat of the Xbox as well as getting outfarmed on against that Julian by the YSS. So yeah, it is a good strategical ban coming in from YB Club, but Crooks Requiem, they actually go in, banning off those healers. The Florine, the Angela, both the healers are banned off. Estes is left open, but not a big fan of Estes, after those long, long, long series back in the M's. But yeah, speaking of that, it is going to be YB Club. Ash TZ, what do you think it is going to be? Is it going to be those tanky, annoying heroes, or is it going to be some squishy once again?
Bro, if you're actually asking me about it, I'll rather say like if you're going for this Odate Minotaur or something like unusual, then go for the Amon. I mean, Amon will be the
Oh,
best option against the Julian and Nathan. I mean, if you're going for this type of heroes, but I don't suggest this type of heroes in the community tournament scene. But what can I say? Like you already shown it to me, like Odate and Minotaurs. Therefore, I'm suggesting you this. But if totally you're asking me what will be good against the Julian, I believe it might be the Bakshia because of the I mean sustain. At the same time, the Julian is building out the Stallium Sky, that will be a problem. So utility might not be working against the Julian much the way it should. uh, so you can go for the Hayabusa. I mean, it can catch up the backline, it can take out the Natan, because in the team fight it's more about the entropy coming in and bursting you out with the magic damage. That's what they need, and they got three magic damage heroes. I mean, Julian, Natan, Kadita, and Badang is coming in for the hinder
Annoying.
here, like the
Yep.
wall and the fist crack will actually give you a lot of stun, so you cannot go for the mobility. So
Uh-huh.
there are so many options here. Hayabusa, Joy, and even if you're a good Fanny player, you can actually pull it out, because I have already seen 9mm gameplay. They are so good with the Fanny, bro.
Oh, like you speak, it is going to be Fanny which will be picked off, following up with the Phobius, which is going to be a good tanky comp coming in, especially pairing it up with the Minotaur's heal. So yeah, but Fanny though, she can get caught in the Badang's wall, which is not a good sign. At the same time, if she knows how to just use the steel cables wisely, then it can work out. But yeah, YB Club, they have a strong lineup as of now, and they also have the countering parts for the side of Crooks Requiem. And that is not a good sign. If you already have the counters, you decided to go for more, and that's not a good sign because 1-1 requires a lot of itemizations, while none other than YB Club's marksman, the Nathan, he can just get two of those items, especially pairing it up with that, what do we call it, Feather of Heaven and what do you call Windtalker, then it's not going to be a good sign for the 1-1 because she can get melted down if she does not activate the crossbow of Trang early on. So yeah, that is a big issue coming in for the 1-1, especially knowing that there will be a Badang and pairing it up. It is going to be the Grok on the roam, and with this draft will be completed. A really, really strong draft from both the teams. But if you ask me here, Ash, the side of Team YB Club, they have a much more pairing option against than Crooks Requiem because they have the snowballing potential, they have the bursting potential. While the side of Crooks Requiem, they will be requiring a lot of itemizations, even from the Odette. As long as she does not get the items, she won't be able to deal damage. Minotaur's heal, kind of a mid, but he can sustain a lot. Phobius, though he can sustain, but there are a lot of locking down heroes, which can cause a lot of trouble for the Phobius and Fanny as well. Let's see how she will be able to move just up and down against that Grok's wall. And speaking of Grok, the tectonic charge will be causing a lot of threat for Odette once again. We speak about it. Odette will be getting another hero which can cancel out her all. And with that, YB clubs overall win this draft. But what do you say about it, Ash?
Yeah, I'll say like they really have a good pick off combo here, team Crux Requiem, but at the same time, the Fanny will literally get a lot of hindrance from this Badang and Grog. They're like the natural counter for the Fanny. And at the same time,
Exactly.
and if you're going for the, I mean, do you play Julian?
I mean,
You know the
Smash
combo
them!
now, 2-3-1. So obviously, if you're going for
Ultra
that combo, you
support!
can actually burst out the Fanny easily when she got cut off with the walls
uh-huh.
or the CC, of course. But with this, guys, we're heading into the Queen's Legacy, the first ever biggest prize pool tournament for the female, which is powered by Warzone Games, and why Kings will have all the fun. It's the Queen's time to shine, guys. And this is the 5v5 going in, and we can see Crux Requiem going against YB Club. The setup is already set. The fire is on, guys. Let's see who'll having the first game into their hand. Already the invasion going in onto the lava golem. The zone coming up by the Minotaur though. This will not gonna help him a lot much here.
So Fanny though coming in, it is going to be the steel cables being popped on with that. Julian will be using the enhance, and it is going to be Can I Be Here, which will be taken down by none other than the Julian. And with that, we can see another engage coming in from the east, but it's going to be the knockup, which will be taking down Izzy. And with that, Kiyomi comes in, gets down Serena as well. Fanny trying to use the steel cables, but not enough. And with that, Q follows down his grave, and my oh my, we can see YB Club already having 0-4 lead with the buffs on their hands as well. Oh my, look at that, Ash. The side of Team YB Club are way too aggressive.
You know what? Like, this is done now because it's 4-0 in the first minute of the game, and you're already having a 2k goal backlash from the very beginning, and you have a Fanny with yourself. that needs a lot of early game snowball. So it's more like you're doomed right now. The turtle spawning in the 15 seconds, but it's more like team YE Club having the advantage for the turtle. And they're still invading out. Look at the zone there. He's still hiding Priya. Priya is so good with the Gatot Kata as well, but now she's playing out that drop. Let's see if they can go and contest for the last turtle. But the one come up. Fanny doesn't have the way to go to the turtle at this point, and with the level gap, I don't feel like she gonna contest it out.
It's not a way to be contesting at the same time because Fanny, she is already way behind level, knowing that Julian has 2 kills as well as 2 assists, so the EXP will be on Julian, and that is not a good sign because Fanny requires a lot of snowballing, and without snowballing, Fanny is literally like just a lane clearance hero. She is just a she is just a flying minion who can roam all the way across the land of Zon, and it is not a good sign because Fanny, once she gets on that stage, when she can only clear down the minions, the only way of winning would be for the lane pressure on towards the other side where the team fight is happening. And that is not a way to be playing out the game because we can already see more invades coming in from the side of YB Club. And talking about YB Club, we can already see Badang is on the quantum charge, which is a good sign because he can just heal up himself whenever he uses the first skill as well as his ult because everything counts as a basic attack. At the same time, he will be gaining movement speed, which moreover will be helping him rotate around the map pretty easily. And with that, we can already see another fight onto the mid lane. Oh, it's going to be
Mhm.
ended though.
Yeah, it's more like they didn't have any trade here for this fights. They need to, wait a little bit more to grab up their first blood for them. Team Crux at this point, Priya is literally zoning out properly, and a potential gank on the goal lane is about to come. I feel so. But at the same time, it's more like the Fanny doesn't got the much opening in this game, so therefore she couldn't. Going for those kills,
Uh,
it's more like you need to give that finishing job to her, and for that you need to stand as a sustain. You need to give some burst on the players. You need to take some frequent fights as well. It's not happening, and that thing is literally giving a lot of
mm,
goals. Like not just settling out the goals here for the side of Team Crux. But here you are, guys, for the second turtle. The second neutral objective is about to come into the Land of Dawn. But before that, a knockoff comes up. The Purify happen as well. But Odin will be going for the ultimate, and it will be giving a little bit of absorb to her. So she will be fine. She'll not get knocked off by the Kadita. But the turtle, it's like more like for this team YB Club because a lot of resources got burnt up. We're still going to see the Phobius zoning out perfectly at the turtle side. Okay, a little knock-up comes up there. Phobius going for the Infinite Pursuit. The demonic charge got into the hand. Rockwood comes in. Turtle being slain. Next Shen Kyumi finds the kill onto Cannot. Can I be him? And in the meantime, we're going to see the Infinite Pursuit coming in and in. But the damage, the burst. Few goes down. Althea was the one to take him down there, take her down there. What a waste. 6-0 with 2 turtle. Everything in settled for YB Club. They're dominating the game, Zeph.
My oh my, exactly. And if I would like to mention though, all before that is going to be Priya, which will be taken down by Odette, and with that we can see the Lobby is coming in, getting down Odette as well. So it's a mage for me, but it is a 2-for-1 trade coming in from the side of Team Crook's Requiem. So that's a highly judgmental engage coming in from YB. See, but yeah, talking about that, before I come into the fights, the way Grog actually uses wall to just make sure that Undead will survive instead of Kadita using off the rough waves in the mid lane. My oh my, that scene was actually hilarious. But yeah, speaking of that, the turtle fight was actually a really reckless move coming in from Crook's Requiem, knowing that they were behind levels. They could have just retreated, gone in for the other lane, like the marksman lane could have gotten ganked there, and it would have been a much better option there for the side of Crook's Requiem because they could have gotten their 1-1 thread, and she could have most probably go in for the way for the damages that she can provide on towards the late game. But yeah, speaking of that, they also have Kiyomi who is using Badang on the damage bill, like I would like to mention, because I saw her going in with the DHS instead of going for the what do we call it, Thunderbelt. And yeah, look at that, she actually completes the DHS. Following up, maybe she is going for the glow, not glowing, but she might be going for the golden staff or maybe something like a corrosion sight here because both the items work really well with Badang, as well as knowing that he can just pin down the opponents really hardly using that combo, the 3D combo. And talking about 1-1, she completes the corrosion sight, goes in for the Windstalker straight off instead of DHS, knowing that there are a lot of tanky heroes. But yeah, it can work out as well. But yeah, look at Badang going in for the golden staff, and we can already see Grok completing almost his Athena, and which is going to be giving him a much more padding option. But here comes the third turtle, Ash.
the third turtle, and it will be another uncontested
Red
one for
team
the
has
side of YB
slain the
Club,
turtle.
securing all the turtle, and the turtle slayer mark goes to next gen. I told you this girl is
Oh
so
my.
good with the lance, and now I'm seeing her with the Julian. Of course, one of my favorite hero to play in the game, but not sure about the community scene because I told you like it cannot go for the
Uh-huh.
backline dive, but at the same time, if you're getting the early snowball to a diggy, you can still find your way to the win. That's the way the
Right.
mechanics work in this game. It's more like the farm you are having from the very beginning, and
Blue
in the
team turret
meantime, you can
has
see
been
one of the
destroyed.
top tier will be falling down there, uh, increase a lead, the first lead onto the macro. At this
Oh.
point, it's more like Crux Requiem need to hold the game properly and then come back for the fight so that the goal deficit will be, I mean, settled down. The equilibrium will be there. But for that, you need to grab up some macro objectives as well. But they're not leaving any objectives, any macro for the
Hmm.
side of Crux Requiem at this moment. And with this, the item section is here, guys. We can see two Feather of Heaven is there. Julian is having it. The Nathan is having it as well. He went for that concentrated energy, and now probably making out that Windstalker. In the meantime, Rose Gold. Okay,
Oh my
is it
god.
7 minute mark already? Yeah. So Rose Gold is fine for now, but look at
Oh.
that was not a good
Enemy
way
has
to
been
zone.
slain.
I mean, that was a very bad way to rotate from
Oh
that
my.
lane. Even children knows it. That you cannot go in that way, and now the mid tier is in a
Exactly.
danger way. The Infernal Pursuit coming in, Fist Crack into the way.
Oh.
They find their way to go back. Mino and Fury comes up for the
Red
follow up.
team
Althea got the kill onto Few. Yumi falls down with the turret damage coming in. In the meantime, IZ will be getting down as well. 2 for 1 is the trade. YB Club still having the upper
Blue
hand,
team
and the
turret
mid
has
tier
been
1 falling
destroyed.
down, enlarging the jungle person, the area for fight for YB Club.
Exactly. Oh my. The side of Team IB Club, they are playing way too aggressive, and the mistake that Fanny made was going in for the mid lane between the walls. Everybody knows you don't need to go from there, especially in the tournament series. You don't gotta do that. But yeah, speaking of that, we can already see invades coming in. The burst being stolen on from Crooks Requiem. YB Club are actually going in for the aggressive snowballing that they need to be. And with that, the Lord will be here, and I'm looking for the uncontested Lord from the side of Team YB Club because they already are ahead of the levels as well as the items. And we can already see none other than the Nathan is going in, trying to build in maybe Wind of Nature, or maybe he's trying to go in for the DHS. DHS, not a probable item, so yeah, it is going to be Wind of Nature. And we can see Badang completing the Golden Staff. Dominance comes in on towards none other than the Grog, and Divine Glaive as well, following on towards
Red team
Kadita. But
has
yeah,
slain the
we can
Lord.
still see Odette going in for the Sky Piercer for some reason, even though she is on 131 KDA, and Fanny actually completing the War Axe at the same time. She is going for the Magic Blade, which can give her a bit of sustainability, but she can't be dealing enough damages here. And like I mentioned, once Fanny gets towards the position where she can only clear down the lanes, she becomes just a flying minion. So that's not a big, what do we call it, accomplishment you want to go in for. And yes, with that, we can already see the Lord being taken down by the side of Team YBC, and they are actually marching down from the mid lane. And if we look into Phobius, though, he has not gotten any physical
Blue
defense,
team
or
turret has been
maybe, yeah,
destroyed.
magic defense is working out because there are 3 magical damages. Radiant works out for the blood wings, but without War
Blue
Axe, though.
team turret
And with
has
that, we
been
can already see the
destroyed.
mid lane
Turret has
actually
been
having the
destroyed.
Lord slamming down.
Yep, the tier 2 falls down there. Lord
Blue
enchanting
team
his
turret
way
has been
onto the
destroyed.
inhibitor, and the Holy Blessing goes up there into the
Oh,
mid, and the
top
Lord will be
lane.
just
Hero
covered up.
has
But what
been
is happening at
slain.
the top? Lizu will be falling down with the entropy coming in there. What a way Kumi finds the kill onto Lizu, and now they're going for that
His
mighty
turret has
rush.
been
They
destroyed.
will be taking out the inhibitor in the mid, and probably they'll be going to attack the bot inhibitor as well. In the meantime, they're clearing up
Turret
those
has been destroyed.
minions there. It's more like they need to finish it up as quick as possible. They're more, I mean, in a
Oh,
hunting way. Okay, the sixth charge comes in. Another tier falls down. Mino and Fury knock off 4 people there. Fanny with the dip cut goes in there. Althea, IZ falls down with a rough wave. What a way Althea picks up the kill there. And the demonic charge coming in. Infernal Pursuit as well. Fanny coming in with the cables. The shield cable's not working there, and a lot of damage is being squeezed out
oh,
onto the base. At this point, they're just locking it up, and with this, the crown will be popped up because it will be Team YB Club securing the first win in this BO3 series by leading the way
Victory!
for 1-0.
exactly. The way we were not even expecting my oh my, the side of Team YBC, they dominated the way we were not even expecting. expecting, especially with the early game having the 4 kill lead. There was a really, really big of a throw coming in from the side of Team Crooks Requiem here, especially knowing that they have a Fanny. They should have just played on the passive role, knowing that there is a, what do we call it, vertical rotation coming in from the junglers and the side of Team YBC. They could have gone in for another, what do we call it, vertical rotation of their own in the jungle area. They could have gone in for the, what do we call it, YBC's orange buff area instead of going for the contest on the fight, knowing that YBC, they have the early game potential on winning side. And we saw that exactly happening. Few came in for the for the 8, but she died at the same time, which led Badang to be going in for the DHS really early on. And with that, we can already see a lot of damage being put down by our Kiyomi, who can actually just melt down the foes with the DHS. And pairing it up with the golden staff, the infinite stuns comes in if she locks anyone down in between the wall. And for some reason, Izzy still goes for the Sky Piercer, even though she is on 1 for 1 KDA. And somehow Lisu was holding on towards the ground, but against the Nathan, like I mentioned, even when he gets those 2 items, 1-1 can't do much against the Nathan, and that's exactly what happened. We saw on the top lane, on the last fight, 1-1 was just melted down on that entropy, and knowing that Nolan had the wind of nature was not a good sign. And for the Fanny though, she was getting slammed down one after another minute the way was passing by. But yeah, Ash, what do you say about the absolute dominance coming in from the side of Team YBC?
It's already, I mean, you know what, seen from the very beginning of the game when they grab up those 4 kills, the double for the Julian. They went for the invasion. At the same time, Fanny comes up, the lava golem goes down there, and with the lava golem, we found like 4 kills, and then they didn't even give them a chance to even contest any of the neutral objective. Turtle, 3 of them were just uncontested, free for the side of YB Club. And then we saw that the Lord was easily being melted down. And then, like, when the mighty push comes up, 1-1 was actually clearing up the lane a little bit higher. And that's the reason the Natan finds his way. I mean, she's farmed off, of course. So, Kumi went in with the entropy, burst out with the magic penetration to IZ, and IZ falls down at the perfect time. Not IZ, 1-1 falls down. And IZ was vulnerable to the rough waves every time, the knockoff from
Mhm.
the Kadita. I told you from the very beginning, like, she will mark her up every time. She will find her doing the swan dance and all. It's more like you cannot go for a audit again in the competitive scene. It's more like you need the early snowball. You need a little bit of farm as well to bring that damage, even though the audit is so goated in Brawl. But we are not in
Uh,
Brawl. We are in a
I get.
competitive scene. So you cannot actually put out that audit scene. You could have gone with the Kimi, was open all the time. You could have gone with the Fursa. There was
Mhm.
Chushin. Everything was there, but you chose to go with the audit. Might be a misclick or might be some strategy with the Minotaur. It's more like Minotaur audit is not never a thing, guys. I mean, and therefore they chose something which can knock them off easily. The Grok was there, the Tech Church can knock you off,
Yep,
Kadita,
exactly.
Padang, everything. I mean, they have a lot of openers actually for the initiation. The initiation was so
Mhm.
great from the very beginning of the game, and so do
Yep.
like the micro and the macro settled so heavily with the side of YB Club, and in the end, you saw the result. It's YB Club securing the first win. But now is the time for the redemption. Is the time for the comeback. We might gonna see a comeback from Crux Requiem. They're so good with their lineup, but let's see. Like if they have some strategy in their mind, they need to throw it up because it's the time for the redemption, guys. Crux Requiem going for here with the Irithel, Angela, and Natan ban. Natan was literally hindering them a lot, but you chose 1-1 against a Nathan, so obviously you're gonna get the prize. And with
That's
this,
true.
Julian will be the same from
Oh.
next turn. I'm so surprised that the Lancey was open and she was not interested in the Lance. I was so, I mean, into this gameplay. I took the casting because I wanted to see her playing the Lance.
I see, I see. Maybe YBC's jungler do not want Ashley to be satisfied with just picking off the Lancelot. They want to show Ash that we can play more heroes and impress you, and instantly locks on towards the Julian. But yeah, like you mentioned on the previous game, Odette had a lot of counters, 3 to be more specific. But yeah, the opening coming in from the Badang, there was also, what do we call it, Julian, who can just engage and come back without any issues, any harm. But yeah, this time Crooks Requiem, they actually get the Xbox on their hands, which might be going on towards the jungle as long as they do not want to send that Xbox on towards the gold or the EXP lane. But yeah, Knowing the meta though, Xbox should definitely go on towards the jungle side, or Lunox, she has the possibility to go on towards the goal and the mid, so that leaves out a big question mark from the side of Team Crooks on between who is going on the jungle, who is going on the mid, or who is going on towards the EXP. But yeah, with this YBC, they will be picking on towards the Minotaur this time, telling Crooks Requiem that look, this is how we play Minotaur, and you need to learn from the mistakes that you guys did. We'll be showing you guys what you guys can't pull off. And with that, it is going to be the YZ, the big black dragon, which will be coming in, which is going to be a lot of trouble from the side of Team Crooks Requiem's backlines, because we know Yuzong for hunting down the backlines without any mercy, and that is what he is known for, especially with his passive coming in and massive damage from his life steal. At the same time, his skills itself, they deal a lot of damage, especially panning it up with none other than the, what do we call it, War Cry. It is actually a really, really amazing combo coming in for the Yuzong. But yeah, look at that. Crooks Requiem are taking up a lot of their time with them. Let's see what is it going to be though. But yeah, what do you say about the Yuzong here, Ash?
The Yuzong is so gonna be aggressive. You can say I mean, he will be there in the team fights, marking out the backliner. So it's so good pick, but at the same time, Alot is open, so you can go for the Alot. It's a big counter for the
Ooh.
Yuzong. They got the why, why? The Alot was open, guys. You could have picked up the Alot here. Uranus was not needed. You already have the Xbox, so I mean, you needed someone who can bring you that crowd control, bring you the setup, proper setup. I don't know what's the plan of Crooks Requiem here, but I really wanted to see a Arlot against the Yuzong. Fine, next time maybe. At the same
Yeah.
time, they'll have the Lunox with them. This time, I'm happy with the mid lane pick. I mean, if it is not Odit, I'm happy with anything else. So they're going with the Lunox, and Lunox is right now in the meta. Lunox, Chushin, Farsa, or Kadita, Kimi, all
Uh-uh.
these heroes are in the meta in the mid. So Lunox going to burst out a little bit more. And you know, Zeph, Lunox is kind of a flex pick
Uh-huh.
here. Lunox can go to the goal as well as to the mid. So it's not
Exactly.
so, I mean, you can say it's not so sure that this Lunox is going to the mid. At the same time, they're banning out the Chushin here. The Carmilla got banned as well. Oh, that's a good setup. Like, you know, Carmilla with the Lunox and the Xbox Last Insanity. The
Mm-hmm.
Curse of Blood is really, I mean, Brilliance, Curse of Blood, and then Xbox Last Insanity do works better. So it's more like
Yep, yep.
the Carmilla ban is totally great. At the same time, they're banning out the carry here. They don't want the true damage to comes up and Meltdown, the reason got there because they got the Uranus in their hand. Last ban might be onto another Rome Kalea, or they're gonna ban out the
Oh,
goal lane
Matilda.
here. No, it will be onto the support though. They're going for the Matilda ban. At the same time, Grok is open, guys. You can grab it up for yourself. Grok will be actually a big asset towards Crux Requiem, and they can also go for the Kalea, as I said before. Like it can give you the crowd control with the heal, so it's more like you can even pick off the Julian or onto their mid laner, which is not settled yet. So what could
Yep,
they
yep.
go for? Like Kimi, Kagura is banned, so Kimi is the one. I mean, Kimi is an option. They can also go with the Lilia for the burst, but at the same time they can go for the Eve or Farsa as a AOE mage.
Yep, yep. They do have a lot of options open for the side of Team Crooks Requiem. There is Barca. There is also Kadita, maybe. Yep, Kadita is left open if they want to pick for it. But no, wait. It's going to be Uranus on the room? Huh? Wait, that's quite a orthodox pick coming in. Uranus on the roam. There is no CC on him. The only thing he is good for is knowing that he can clear out the lanes and be a sandbag. And right now, Crooks Requiem, you guys don't need that. You guys needed a good set hero, and that would have been a Grog. They also have Kalia open who can just give out a pick off, and that would have been a much better option. But Crooks Requiem decides to go in for none other than the Uranus on the roam, and that is not we were expecting, because it is never working out, because Uranus on the room, he can only sandbag. And how much can he sandbag? That's the question, because we can see YB club actually playing a lot aggressive, and the way they play is my oh my, the way they just play out the damage coming in, straight up early game damage, straight up early game dominance. And speaking
Oh,
of dominance. It is going to be 1-1, and against that, it is going to be the Aurora. So the set is completed from the side of Team YB Club because they have a Aurora who can give out a huge AoE stun. Alongside that, we can see Minion Fury coming in from the Minotaur, which is going to be really, really impressive because there is no, what do we call it, escape skill coming in from Crook's Requiem, except for the Light Orb coming in from the Lunox, which is not going to be enough. And the last Insanity, it can be popped down, especially knowing that they have a Julian with the magic damage who can just shred down the Faraga armor really, really easily. And yeah, with that Crook's Requiem, they still have the last pick. Do you think Lunox would be a good option on the on the gold lane rather than a good
Yeah,
marksman? No, because against the 1-1 though, Lunox
They
can
can
work
go
out
with
at the
a
same time.
Harith, bro. I need a
Yeah,
Harith here.
exactly.
Harith Phobius is a OG combo. You need the Harith into your side right now. You'll have two burst for
Ranger.
yourself, but no, they're going for the Granger against the 1-1. It's more like having a good setup this time, Cruxiquim. They're really planning to give that comeback. They're really into the redemption arc this time with the picks, but the only thing which is not making me happy, or even you, even our viewers, is that you're not onto the room. It's more like, I mean, you cannot give that setup, that opening. You're just like a sustain wall. You'll be, I mean, absorbing a lot of damage to yourself. At the same time, you cannot make a setup for the Xbox to goes in, or the Phobius. It's more like the Phobius is the only one there to provide the crowd control, and other than that, it's more like they don't have something to provide it. But at the same time, if you're gonna see the YBC lineup, it's more over to the follow up. They're having a chain CC around them. They got the
Mhm.
Minotaur to start or opening, give that opening to Julian
Exactly.
and all. Aurora is there for the Blizzard Glacier to stun up. At the same time, Muzhong can dive in. So it's more like they got the pick off combo, whereas Team Cruxiquim just have the poke and burst for
All
them. So
troops
let's see.
deployed.
I mean, two different combos, two different teams, but the idea, the the last objective is same, to take on the game number two, so that one team is in the match point game and one team is in the do or die setup. So it's more like Cruxiquim needs to win this game to goes into the third game decider, and team YB Club needs to perform well to secure a win and just finish it up with a 2-0 clean sweep, a statement, a dominative statement to others team that we are here to secure the Queen's legacy, the crown, not to lose. And with this, you can see the jungling, the aggro factor is already started. It's the Letho being cleared by Xborg, and now he's just going for a little bit of zone. And I don't feel like they will be taking out the goal lane gank here in the early phase. Team Cruxiquim, it's more like YB Club is going to give that gank at the goal.
Yep, exactly. Now the thing about Neon though, the way she is farming up is really, really impressive. She goes for the opposite side of the enemy's jungle farming side. She goes for her own buff, then she goes for the lava golem, trading out that lethal wanderer, and she goes back to get her lizard, and after that she goes for the orange buff. That rotation though, it will be leaving out the opponent, which is going to be Crook Requiem's jungler, Serena, who will not be able to reach level 4 before the turtle mark, and that is really impressive. But yeah, she got the lethal, so she will be getting it now, and that is a fair trade at the same time. But yeah, we can already see the turtle is here, and the gang is shifting on
First
towards a
blood.
1-1, but 1-1 will not be do
oh,
anything. And we thought that the off-screen kill coming in on towards the Yuzong, though Phobius will be taken down, not able to reach level 4, will be causing a lot of threat. Yuzong will be clearing down minions even before the turtle arrives, and with that, the turtle will be coming in, but it is going to be a really interesting fight because we can see the roamers will be having a lot of gap in terms of the, what do we call it, set skills, and we can already see the ambush coming in on towards you.
oh,
Wait, that was Xbox for Raga armor just melted down, and before that the big black dragon onto the backside coming in, marking down Lunox, but she will be going back now, not wanna risk out her life, and with that we can see the Faraga armor already pop down. Lunox really low, and with that the side of Team Crook's Requiem are left at a fatal state where they cannot contest with the turtle. Look at that though, but on towards the mid lane we can see 1-1 coming in with the crosswalk, but trying to deal enough damage, but she will be forced to be backing up because Rhapsody in the early game is way too high of a damage dealer. And yeah, with that the turtle falls on the hands of Team YB Club. My oh my, the side of YB Club is really, really impressive here, Ash. And look at the items though.
Yeah, the items are already set up here for both these sides, but it's just a 2 minutes game, so I will not judge the items here. But that Sonata coming in, the zone perfect on the gold side, but they got the turtle with one kill in their hand, so it's more like a dreamy start in a match point game for YB Club. They're more aggressive. They're still the same, just like the last game. They were so aggressive. They're so objective, specific play, showing that objective specific play. They're doing the same in this game as well. It's more like the Xborg is so vulnerable in the starting phase of the game, in the early phase, and the Firaga armor will get down again and again. I told you about the Yuzong. They got the chain CC in their hand, so they'll be following up with those setups moreover into the ganks, and they got the Aurora into their hand as well. It's more like Aurora is kind of a mage, I will say. Like, it's not onto the utility part only. If she's making out some damage as well, it will be perfectly good with the combo you are having right now. Mino and Fury, Blizzard Glacier. Look at the damage coming in, and as it goes in for 5, the fight's coming in. Blizzard Glacier rolls in as well. Cooling will be securing a kill, and with this, IZ will be securing a kill onto Priya. 1-for-1, roamer for roamer. At the same time, we can see that protection going in there with that little bit of burst. The Faraga armor is not there. Second enhance used for fleeing back there. Still, he's having the fun. Okay, use the cloud coming into the action here, slowing down here, but Aurora with the burst finds the kill, and now the Yuzong joins the team fight. Double for Aurora. My goodness, Kyumi doing, I mean, fabulously good at this point. And telling you this, like, Kyumi just changed her role at this time, and again they might be grabbing up third kill as well, because okay, the flicker comes up, he tosses it out easily, but now he's getting trapped down there, and there you go, they goes inside the tier, a pure domination coming in, Black Dragon popped up, he will be saved, my goodness, then he secured the kill and he goes back as well, the heal from the Minotaur.
That Yusong was at a blink of death, but survives because of the big black dragon farm, and the way the follow-up came in from the ult of Aurora, that was really impressive. And with that, if we look into the items, we can already see Feather of Heaven completed onto us Julian, with the War Axe onto us our Yusong, and yeah, not much of the items are completed except for these two. We'll be having a full item one set, but yeah, with that we can see our corrosion side as well now that I notice. Yeah, corrosion side, so 3 people from the side of team YB Club will be having their items already and following up with the glowing one, but on the side of Team Crooks Requiem, they have only completed one item, which is the gold laner. At least she is following on towards the gold standards, and yeah, with that we can already see the bot lane. It is going to be none other than Lisu, which will be taken down by the 1-1. That crossbow was way too strong for our Ranger to be handling down with that gun as well as the bomb here, but yeah, with that we can see the bot lane in first here might be taken down. And if we speak about the situation here, we can see YBC are really aggressive. They have the upper hand, knowing that they don't have a perfect set giver. Roamer, especially knowing that Can I Be Him is only a sandbag, it will not be dealing much damage, nor will it be receiving enough damage to be sustaining all the skills coming in from YB Club here. And before that, we can already see the Xbox in a bad position. For Raga armor being popped down, Lunox comes in with a chaos, but not enough. Renon Fury coming in, catching 2 people. Serena will be taken down by Neox, and with that, Lunox in a really bad position will be taken down by none other than Quinlan. And this is going to be 1-1 on the killing spree, and it is a dominance, the absolute one-sided dominance coming in from the side of the YB Club. And oh, Granger though in a bad position, might be taken down, but no engages coming in from YB Club now, because Yuzong does not want to secure, does not want to risk her life for going in for a marksman, though it is a good trade, but she is onto us 2-0-1, so it might be a throw coming in. Not a might be, but yes, it is a throw coming in if she tries to go in. But yeah, with that, the Blood Wings completed onto us our few instead of going to the dominance. It's not a good trade, right, Ash?
Of course, and you know what, Zev, it's more like the bot side is totally clear up at this point, and they will be grabbing up the mid-tier one as well, opening up the more jungle area for them. Like, it's over. At this point, it's over. It's just 7 minutes of the game, and you got a lead of 3 tiers. I mean, 3 macro into your hand, 2 turtles, and now the third one coming in for you, and you'll be grabbing it up as well. But for me, I mean, if I was playing at the point of YB Club, I wouldn't have went for the Lord. It's more like you have a 7k goal lead at this point. You can just directly go for that Lord, not for the turtle. So, but they went for the turtle. They want that turtle slayer mark onto her. It's Nexon, of course. And 2 times, I mean, not revealing anything else, but what just happened? A roamer just played it out against the Uranus. He just grabbed up the kill, but the damage was insane from Kulin, of course. And I'm telling you about this. Okay, zone there. He's going for the fight. He went for the Black Dragon. The immune comes up as well. He goes back in the safer zone at this point. It's more like the overextension was there, so It's a good
Uh-huh.
decision to
Yep, yep.
retaliate back because you don't
I
want
do agree.
to throw up some goal. You're having the bounties, a lot of bounties on your head at this point because of the goal lead. But now,
Yep.
look at the zone once again by the Aurora. She's giving literal stuns every time, and this is the power spike I was talking about. Another macro being about to secure there. They're trapping up the Ranger. This
Oh,
Sonata coming in, but he has no idea that he cannot be get out from the damage spike of Julian. This is really
exactly.
true. This is not true damage. This is magic penetration for real.
I
It's
do
just
agree.
put out easily there. Another one. Piraga armor goes off. Mino and Fury coming in as well as
Oh,
the preservation getting free for Nexus. He goes in. Serena falls down. Make a kill for Q-Lane.
and
With the crossbow tank coming in. A lot of damage been dishing out, but few falls down in the hand of the Julian. Sky comes up.
right
Forward
out.
pass. It will be a great pull for Nexus. Can it be a maniac at this point? The holy blessings are going out. The goes
Oh,
in. He
yeah.
will be going a maniac knocked up, and it will be a maniac for Nexus. Team Crux Requiem will be cooked by the side of YB Club, and it's just 9 minutes 17 seconds of the gameplay. So fast forward, Zeph, and everything is going off from their hands.
Yep, I do agree. Not even the 10-minute mark, and there is a wipeout and a mania coming in from the side of YB Club, and the way they wiped out the side of Team Crooks Requiem, they were able to respawn. That just shows how intense the game is coming in on the side of Team Crooks Requiem. The whole pressure is on towards their heads right now, and YB Club, they do not want to let that pressure fall off. They want that pressure to be heading on towards their head itself. And yes, with that aside, of Team Crooks Requiem are at a really, really heavy loss because they do not have a complete draft. They do not have a proper draft, I'd be saying. And that is not a good sign because, yeah, I would still like to say that the Uranus pick is not a good sign, my guy. That you do not want to go for a Uranus onto as a roam. EXP definitely works out even against the Yuzong. It can sometimes stand out for that healing, but yeah, it's on towards the maximum game that comes in, and on the roam, you need a proper steady hero. You need a proper tankiness coming in, except for the Uranus. He can sustain, but he cannot give out the set. So that leaves out one more potential coming in from your side, Crooks Requiem. You need to be changing on towards the roamer section. And yeah, speaking of roamer section, the marksman is also really backhead right now because we can see 041 KDA coming on towards D2, which is not a good sign because before that we can see the Lord though marching in, comes in with a slam, though not a good sign for the side of Team Crooks. The minions will be coming in as well as the clearance on the side of Team YBC is really, really strong. And with that, we can see the Lord marching in, comes in, none other with the minion Fury, and it's going to be the last standing onto the back line, but it is going to be the damage of Nexus, which is way too hard. With that, we can see the crossbow of tank clearing down the Uranus, and with that, the Nexus taken down on the hands of Team YBC, and they will be securing the spot as well. And the way they executed the last fight was way too aggressive, and the side of Team Crooks Requiem, they stood no chance against that engage.
2-0 clean sweep, real sheer domination worked from the side of YB Club. Annihilation to the side of Crux Requiem with a 16k goal lead. It is so bad for Crux Requiem. I mean, they didn't even give a little bit chance to even flinch against the side of YB Club in this game number 2. And this is not 2-0. This is total annihilation, total speechless, unbelievable gameplay from the side of YB Club. I told you from the very beginning that Nexion is so good with the jungle, so good with the high. I mean, Lancelot. Tonight it was a show for the Julian. So good, and you can see the data, of course, like the team fight participation from the 5 of them was totally insane. Even though the MVP goes to Nexion, but the real MVP for me is Althea. From the very beginning, the way she channelized the early game snowball for her team, the way she was giving the zone, the way she was joining the team fight, the way she was following up the Minnow and the Kumi, I mean Priya and Kumi was so good. The setup and everything was perfect, and you can see everybody is literally having the 50 plus
Uh-uh.
participation with a percentage 74 for MVP. Next son, of course. Congratulations, guys, taking out the win. And now I got to know she is 37 India number 37 Julian. Okay,
Oh my my.
I'll start
Yes,
ranking.
definitely.
I'll see you there in the leaderboard. But yet I'm
Yeah.
still in the Legend 5. I didn't start the ranking this season yet. It's fine. The game number 1 easily goes with a clean sweep to YB Club, and they are into the next round, guys. Into the lower bracket next round. But we have another game, another setup of game, and we'll be coming back soon. If I'm not wrong, after the short break, will be there. So me and Zeph, AshTZ and Zeph will be signing off right now from Queen's Legacy. But new set of casters will be joining you all to entertain you all and to make you, I mean, give you the best of best at the Queen's Legacy. Because why? Kings will have all the fun because this is the time for Queen to shine.
Exactly. And yes, guys, with this, we'll be taking a short break. Don't go anywhere. Peace out.
Welcome to Double 11!